So you might be wondering which is better, the Airbus A350 or Boeing 787 Dreamliner. These jets are two of the best-selling wide-body aircraft in the market at the minute, but does one outperform the other? To determine if there is a clear winner, let's look at the main differences of these two jets and consider an airline's point of view along with passenger perspective. Difference number 1, efficiency and economics. Both aircraft types are twin-engined, with the A350 being exclusively powered by the Rolls-Royce Trent XWB, while the 787 is powered by either the Trent 1000 or the GEnx. In terms of raw fuel burn, the 787 comes out on top, but considering factors such as the higher takeoff weight and larger capacity of the A350, the Airbus has the slight advantage in terms of fuel burn per 100 kilometers in both high-density and low-density configurations. However, there are so many factors to consider and so many ways of measuring fuel burn that it is impossible to give a general conclusion for every flight. But in most cases, the A350 has the slight fuel economy advantage. The initial price of the A350-900 is $317 million, and the Dash 1000 variant costs $367 million. The 787 variants are all less expensive than their rivals, with the Dash 9 coming in at $290 million and the Dash 10 costing $338 million. We should note that most aircraft orders are made in bulk, resulting in massive discounts for the airline, which makes it difficult to determine the exact price per unit, as the discount depends mainly on the number of aircraft ordered and the relationship between the manufacturer and the airline. Seeing as the A350 has a slight fuel economy advantage but costs more at list price, I'm not going to be the judge of who wins. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thanks, and now let's move on to the second area of comparison, versatility. Both the 787-9 and A350-900 have a maximum range that exceeds that of the 777-300ER. The A350-900 has the largest non-stop range of any twin jet, coming in at a staggering 9,700 nautical miles, or, for you metric users, 18,000 kilometers. The Dash 9 has the longest range of the Dreamliner family, just over 14,000 kilometers, or about 7,500 nautical miles. This gives the A350 the upper hand when it comes to fleet versatility, as this jet can fly farther with more payload than the Dreamliner, as the takeoff weight of the A350-900 is nearly 30 tons more than that of the 787-9. Although both jets can fly almost any route, it is the A350 which takes the crown when it comes to ultra-long haul, as both the top two longest non-stop flights in the world are operated by the Airbus. Ultimately, it is the choice of the airline in question, and they must consider the route length, demand, and other logistics when making a decision. But what about passenger comfort? In order for you to personally decide which aircraft is best, and for the purposes of this video, I'll just use the raw specifications, because believe it or not, I actually haven't flown the A350 or 787 at all yet, so I can't give my opinion because I don't have an opinion. So let's start with cabin altitude. On the 777 and most other commercial aircraft, the cabin is pressurized to a lower altitude to increase comfort and decrease jet lag. This pressurized cabin altitude is usually around 8,000 feet. But on the Dreamliner, this has been brought down to 6,000 feet, and apparently the difference is very noticeable. The situation is the same for the A350, with an extra 500 feet worth of pressure being squeezed in, coming in at around 5,500 feet. This reduced cabin altitude owes itself to the material used to build the aircraft. Both the A350 and 787 fuselages are made primarily from carbon composites, which comprise carbon fibers reinforced with a resin matrix, which is lighter than aerospace-grade aluminium, but crucially much stronger, allowing for this lower cabin altitude thanks to the carbon fiber fuselage handling the extra stresses. The first EDW program, which stands for Electronically Dimmable Windows, was launched on the 787 Dreamliner, with Airbus taking a leaf out of Boeing's book and deciding the A350 should have dimmable windows too. Both aircraft were designed to offer a better cabin climate control versus previous generation aircraft. And both jets offer higher levels of humidity compared to other planes, which added to a lower cabin altitude, has a profound effect on the reduction of jet lag. So at the minute, it seems like both jets offer the same level of comfort, but here comes the kicker. The A350 cabin is 5 inches wider than the 787's cabin. That might not sound like a lot, but in economy, it means the seats are at least 1 inch wider as standard versus the competition. However, some airlines may choose to offer a dense 10 abreast configuration, meaning the seats shrink and leave you cramped and uncomfortable. Like I mentioned earlier, I cannot give you my opinion as I haven't flown these jets, so let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thanks for taking the time to watch, and if you enjoyed this video, then subscribe, and I will see you soon.